Hey y'all, Indy here from the Conscious Club Podcast, the #1 podcast on VULFPECK. This week, it is super special. We are talking to the MSG set designer herself, Tricia Robertson. She was so kind enough to make some time to go and Google hang out with us to be on the show today, and we're talking about everything MSG from beginning to end, the fireplace debacle. It's an incredible week here on the Conscious Club Podcast.
Wait. Ready. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yes.
You can be president.
Mama, it's a mad world. I feel bad for all the boys and girls.
Same.
Falling in from the astral plane. Out of the great unknown into the grand insane. But listen, children, I've got good news. You don't have to play by the rules.
Oops.
So sit
You're
back
on
and
there.
just make your claim. And I'm gonna teach you how to play the game. Just throw your punches in, have no hesitance to follow hunches in spite of the evidence of this whole earth. It's just a private residence and you could be president.
All right, let's see if we can ruin this one, huh?
Joe.
Mama, I hate to say dog eat dog seems like the only way to take your seat in the captain's chair. Yeah. Lord knows the golden rule ain't gonna get you there. So don't be humble and don't be kind. No. All that noise is just a waste of time. It's a waste of your time. And we don't mind what the people say. So long as the people say your name, keep saying your name. Just throw your punches and have no hesitance to follow punches in spite of it.
Oh my goodness.
It's just a private residence and you can be president.
That's a really cool piano. How it's like open like that.
Yeah. I love the standing pianos. They're awesome.
That's so cool. I love that it's not closed.
Mama, it's hard to see.
I like
That
that.
old lady called liberty. We've been into that New York bay. No. Well, if I could console her, this is what I'd say. Just throw your punches in, have no hesitance to follow hunches in spite of the evidence of this whole thing. It's just a private residence and it's all yours and you can make your mess of it.
Ooh, make a mess of it, baby. That's what I'm doing. Oh boy, it's always fun to have new Vulf adjacent content. All right. New Theo Katzman. Yes, that was released 2 days ago on October 10th, 2019.
On Thursday.
And I think that's a quality addition to his repertoire.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Do we have any knowledge of when his new record's dropping? Is it in early Q1 2020 or
So
Christmas time? Or
good question. Good question.
Because I know his tour starts in 2020, so I'd assume it's right after the release, right?
I would assume Daniel, previous guest host here on the Conscious Club podcast, and also TCCP producer, Mr. Daniel Johnson, he was texting me earlier this week, or 2 days ago when this came out, and he was saying that he suspects that Vulf isn't going to release an album this year because of Theo and his tour dates, which is interesting, and I think it's a controversial statement here in the Conscious Club podcast because we don't know. We have no confirmation. It's a speculation, but I would assume that Jack doesn't want to crowd the release of things, and also, you know, Jack is a lot. Jack very much wants to prolong the inevitable, right? In the anticipation, right? It's the scarce model, where it's like if you have nothing for so long, the time you do get something, it's just that it just has a much more impact. So I don't know if this coming out this year will impact VULFPECK'S record from coming out, but we don't know. We don't know.
I feel like this will either be late this year or like January of next year, maybe. Because when does his tour start? His
tour starts
in January.
On the 10th of January. Yep.
So it's either going to be like the first week of January, like after the New Year, or like right in like maybe around Thanksgiving or Christmas this year.
We don't know. So we're waiting with bated breath. I think it's the calm before the storm. You know what I mean? Where it's like we're uncertain of the release schedule for both VULFPECK and Theo. So you never know, man.
And his tour ends in mid-March, so that would be
right,
like late spring, summer, fall release for VULFPECK, maybe.
Right. So, and also it's interesting too. We said on a previous podcast that Joe Dart was selected to go on tour with Theo.
Yeah.
And also last year or this year they recorded the Fearless. Or was it? Yeah, it was this year. They recorded Fearless 2 in January of this year. So I'm wondering if the San Francisco, Santa Barbara, Solana Beach, LA, like when he gets to the LA on the 24th, I wonder if Joe Dart is going to go record with Fearless at that time, or they record the Fearless album before the 10th. Because, you know, it seems as if Jack is a very scheduled man. And I'm just using the past as a predictor for future performance, which I know is not necessarily the right avenue to assume things on, especially with finance and stocks. Fee, fi, fo, fum, y'all. But it's interesting. I think it bears talking about because it's, I don't know. It's an interesting. I think we're cutting it close. Right, with all that we already know about how they record and how they release their art, it's kind of up in the air, and I'm actually really excited to see how it unfolds. Yeah, because that's just future podcasts.
Yeah. Did I send you that screenshot from the VULFPECK where I think it was Drake
Martin?
I think he had a very similar take to you of what he thought was going to happen. He thought that as well.
Oh, I think I do have that.
Yeah, he thought the same thing here.
Drake's take, I call it.
Yeah, here it is.
Drake's take. Late night thoughts. Wow, it's literally
what you were saying.
I wonder if Daniel got back into the pack and saw this and then like texted
I know,
me.
this is suspicious.
Maybe he didn't even text me and I saw this. I don't know. Like, we're recording so many podcasts this month, I forget how we're doing it. But anyway, Drake's take. It might even be a new segment here on the show. Drake's take. Late night thoughts. VULFPECK won't release an album in 2019. I'm guessing Theo had to put out his album around December because he had his tour booked. Jack talks about how he's really into stretching out the time leading into an album's release. So it most likely won't be out till 2020. My bet is on March. I really hope I'm wrong. Hill Climber was my favorite Vulf album yet, and I'm really excited to see what they cook up.
And I think it's even going to be after March because his tour comes to mid-March. Theo's tour stops on the 15th of March.
Well,
so
it's already recorded.
I know.
So, and I guess it's just respect.
But do they have the videos ready to roll? They might need to record some videos and then release it in summer or fall.
You know, we don't know. If we're taken from past Conscious Club podcasts, when we're kind of seeing the background, remember like maybe 10 or 12 episodes ago where there was like Antoine and Corey in some ominous recording room. I think that's probably when those recordings were going on.
He could be editing those videos right now.
Not to dock Jack at all, but they're somewhat simple videos to get out. Like as a video editor myself, like it's not like they're not shooting on reds. They're not, you know, they're not having it's not heavy VFX. Maybe some font art, you know, like the dancing font, like Theo's video here. But it's really like if that was back in what, June, July. So I mean, like I'm sure. You have 10 songs, 10 videos. We've done more than 10 podcasts in that.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
so
true. I think it's, but also he's mixing an album.
He's mixing an album.
Maybe when he sends it off for mastering is when he starts editing. You know, because then he could just use the unmastered tracks as a template to edit his videos.
Yeah, then he could pop it in.
And he just pops it in later, maybe. I don't know.
Be true.
Jack Stratton.
We're always.
We see you.
Oh. I thought you were motioning for me to.
Oh no, I was pointing at Jack.
Start the camera. Pointing at Jack.
I want to get the glare off the TV there.
So, is it time for our unboxing yet?
Ooh, actually, let me intro the show first because we
never even introed.
Yes, we are. I don't know. 10 minutes in, but here's the intro to the Conscious Club podcast. Welcome everybody. It is the Conscious Club podcast, the #1 VULFPECK podcast. We beat out every single VULFPECK podcast competitor by high margins, huge margins that we beat out other VULFPECK podcast competitors. We are in zone 2. Also, we are not experts on VULFPECK. We love VULFPECK. We want to learn more. We're curators. We're auditors. So to speak, we could be called the IRS of the VULFPECK, where we audit
Correct.
the content that is displayed to all of us in the pack. Also, you know, what is it? Pitch? Front? Promote. Plugging. I always say front.
Pitch? Oh, front.
Front. Yeah. You know, new releases. It's always a fun time when we have new Vulf content out, and that's kind of why the Conscious Club podcast exists. Also, the Conscious Club podcast stands for more than just the Conscious Club podcast. It stands for T, Treasurers of Talent. C, Curators of Controversy.
Oops.
we get that wrong every time. C, Creators of content, and P, Purveyors of podcasting. So that is TCCP.
Podcast platforms, these guys.
Right. Also, plugging our Instagram, which is at the Conscious Club Podcast, right here for you beautiful, for the lower thirds.
Ooh, fancy.
That's right. I know. Also, Tori's Instagram is at Senorita Toria. A little confusing, but you get there. SENORITA TORIA. Great, beautiful art that she creates. She is a viz dev extraordinaire. Viz dev extraordinaire. If you have any viz dev you need in the LA area or even satellite, hit her up.
And it's currently Inktober, which is the month of ink. So there's a challenge going on my page. So check it out.
Great. Awesome.
Also, I want to apologize for my sniffling. My allergies are really triggered and bad right now from the fires occurring in LA. It's like a campfire outside.
Terrible.
I'm allergic to smoke, so that's why my nose is so itchy. And I apologize for the sniffling. So
that's okay. We'll get through it. Yeah, it's a sad, solemn time in LA. So many different neighborhoods are being evacuated. So far, 100,000 people. That what I heard this morning. It's crazy. We feel for everybody, and it sucks when you go outside and you just you drive in your car, you turn right, and you look up the street and you just see a mountain on fire, and it's so scary because it's like right in your backyard. But yeah, we're solemn times here on the Conscious Club podcast. But also, we also have an email address. You can hit us up at tccpdirect@gmail.com. tccpdirect or is it tccpdirect@gmail.com. Also, we have a very special addition to the studio today.
We do.
Which is great. Let me see if I can find it here.
Woohoo! Our first piece of fan art.
Some fan art to unbox here. And what better than to... Could you
Are we using my dad's knife that he made you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys, my dad's a woodworker. Plugging my dad here on the Conscious Club podcast.
Does he have an
watches.
Etsy shop?
So not yet, but he needs to have one. We're using my dad's knife that he made for Indy here.
Beautiful.
To unbox.
And always away from humans.
Yep.
Right?
Cut away. Yep. Good work.
We don't want to get cut from YouTube.
Ooh, that is a...
It's almost as if this was open before. It was. Oh boy. Okay, let's see what we got here.
All right.
Unfolding.
Unboxing. Our first piece of fan art. One of many.
Oh, yes.
Here we are.
Beautiful
By Cody
beauty.
Sen Paintings on
Cody
Instagram.
Sen, yeah, at Cody Sen Paintings on Instagram. He has an Etsy shop linked in his Instagram. Please go there, buy the original. It's worth the money. Buy all his originals. He's got some Joe Rogan
Beautiful.
art. He's got some Trump art, some Kanye art. It's actually
Other
I would have his Trump art, even though I'm not a fan.
Yeah, other
It's just
music
fun.
related art and stuff
Right.
like that.
And I think there was a note. Was there a note?
Yes. And he gave you a sticker as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's right there behind
Where
you.
is it?
It must have slipped out and fell behind
Oh, pardon.
you. Here it is.
Pardon.
All right, we got a
See what Cody
sticker.
said. Yeah, we got a Joe Rogan sticker here.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Indy loves the Joe Rogan
I
podcast.
love,
So.
yeah. Who doesn't, you know? Let's see what Cody says. Cody Sen Paintings, fine art established in 2018. Dear Conscious Club podcast, I love what you guys have going on. Look forward to viewing your future episodes. I hope you will enjoy this print as much as I enjoy the original painting hanging in my studio. You can support my internet SEO in the following ways. On Instagram, you can post a picture of your print wherever you choose to place or hang it. Tag at Cody Sen Paintings, and we'll follow him on Instagram.
I need to do that this week.
Yes, we will do
Cody,
that.
I'm going to do that this week.
Yeah. He also says, a large part of my work consists of commissions of original oil paintings, family members, pets, etc. So reach out if interested. If you want to commission a painting, if you like his art, he'll do it
Heck
for a
yeah.
nominal fee.
Cody, we are here to support you. I'm also an artist with an Etsy who does this stuff. So we are here to support you. I'm going to post you on our Instagram this week. Thank you so much for this. And if anybody else has any Vulf art, feel free to hit us up and it'll go on our wall behind us.
Or Vart.
Vart. Yeah.
Yes. Vulf Art or Vart. We love you, Cody Sen. I am just putting on some command strips here.
Woohoo! Let's hang this
I'm gonna
puppy.
put it on the wall so that we can all enjoy it for the rest of the show.
Heck yeah.
Thank you so much, Cody Sen. We appreciate you. We love you. Also, I said in a prior podcast, I DM'd him. I'm like, do you need us to pay for shipping? I can give you money. And he just didn't reply.
Yeah, because he had already put that puppy in the mail.
Yeah, and
he
then
was on
like a
it.
day or two later, I got that. So, love you, Cody Sen. You are Cody Sen. You are very near and dear to our
Beloved.
hearts. Yes.
All right, so we're hanging it.
Let's do it.
Here it goes.
Let's see here.
Also appreciate our fall decor, our pumpkins. That looks great. Yeah. Perfect. Woo! Looking good.
Don't want to ruin the print.
Also, I don't think anybody has purchased the original.
Nope.
So, somebody go buy that from Cody. There's nothing better than having the actual original. So, please,
And yeah,
go buy it.
And said by a true artist.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you like Tori's art, go and buy her originals as well.
Thank you. On my Etsy.
On her
Etsy.com/shop/Victoria's Magic Art.
Ah, I like that. It's a great URL.
Plug in.
That URL. Yeah, plug in here on the Conscious Club. Peaky.
So we have a special guest in about 6 minutes. So what else do we have to cover till we get there?
So yeah, so we got we have a very special guest coming up.
Oh, we have a quote?
We have a quote. I like to start things off with a quote, even though some in the past haven't. So we have one from Aretha Franklin
I
here.
love her.
Be your own artist and always be confident in what you're doing. If you're not going to be confident, you might as well not be doing it. Aretha Franklin.
I feel that. I really feel that because as many people who create and make art, I go through periods where I'm not confident in my work and when I'm creating, and I feel like I'm in a rut, you know?
Right.
And if you're not confident in what you're doing and you're not confident in your abilities, your work is going to lack something.
Yeah, you're compromising something,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So you might as well not even be doing it unless you believe in yourself.
Dude. Bringing it home.
I relate to that. Thank you, Queen
Yes.
Aretha, dearly departed.
Also,
Queen Aretha.
it's also a solemn week here in LA.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers lost, and I didn't know I'd be so depressed as I was.
Rip.
Yes, Clayton Kershaw
Choking.
We pulled another Darvish from years past, and it's a solemn week. But we also have Mr. Charles Jones.
Yeah, he played before the rip.
Yep. Yeah, he played before they died. So let's see. Let's get through. Let's find.
Oh, I haven't seen the video yet. I'm so excited.
Jones.
Yes.
Charles Jones.
He's got.
Artist who's called.
Yeah, he's got accolades.
Now, fans, would you please remain standing and join in this? Led tonight by a vocalist, producer, and keyboardist who's collaborated with multiple Grammy Award-winning artists. Accompanied by organist Dieter Rule. Please welcome Charles Jones.
Yes. I love his blue sweater.
Oh, say, can you see
Oof,
by the
that voice.
dawn's early light?
I have chills.
They pop Vulf compressor on that mic?
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
God, he's so good.
through the night that our flag
the Theo-esque glasses, too.
still there.
Yes.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Oh. Yes.
And the home of the brave.
Charles.
Mr. Jones, man. And I gotta say, baby, I don't know. You know,
He's
we
so
love
cute.
Charles Jones.
So good.
Also, we have a relevant post from Mr.
Yes.
Corey Wong as well, in his
Made my day.
his Muppet video. Says haters will say it's fake.
Today
Actual
I'm
footage
gonna
from
get
real job
myself
tracking
a
session.
real job. It's time to be a standard working man. Oh, this music thing's been fun, but I think that I am done. Today I'm gonna get myself a real job. I'm contemplating getting.
You guys have no idea how big of a Muppet fan I am.
No stress
Sesame Street,
about
Muppet, The
what
Muppet
I'm
Show, everything's like this, like literally made my life. And I called
ticket
it
sale.
before this was even released. When he first released this song, I messaged him, or not messaged him, but like posted a story, and I was like, so many Kermit vibes from this. He was like, yes, good job picking that up. That's exactly what I was going
Hell
for.
yeah.
And then here, he has a puppet. He has a literal Muppet of
Yeah.
himself, and he's operating that himself. If you watch this video closely, you'll see him behind him in a beanie.
We'll see him. Oh, I see the arm.
There he is. it cuts into his face a few times. So he's operating this, and that's not easy to do. To do the
he's-
mouth sync and the hand sync
And
together.
he's very focused too. His face is so serious.
Focus, this guy.
Today I'm gonna get myself a real
There he is.
I love it.
So cool. So cool.
Well, I think this brings us.
This brings us to
Miss Tricia Robertson.
our guest today.
Yes, I'll put your name on the lower third, but somebody on Instagram, Tamberwolf suggested that we talk to the MSG stage designer. And we hit her up, and she agreed to come on the show, and we have a special guest that we will join a Google Hangout with her.
Heck yeah.
Shall we try and get her on?
Yeah, I'm excited. She's
right.
going to talk to us about the MSG set and the process behind that and meeting the Vulf boys. And yeah, we are so excited to have her on as a guest. So
Cool. Let's
see if she's around.
let's see if we're doing it here. Tricia is on the call.
Oh,
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Tricia.
hi, I can hear you.
Guys,
How are you doing?
then you know what? The Dodgers. Other than that, I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Indy is actually wearing his LA Dodgers hat right now.
Yeah,
so.
as depressed as I am.
Still repping him.
Still repping him. I ain't no bandwagon. You know what I mean? So, but yes.
That's great. I wore my hat yesterday. I'm still proud. You know, everybody at work, we're all banded together to cry together. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
But next year, man.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Sadly. Yeah, we were just playing Chris Jones opening to, I think it was one of the first games
Charles
of the
Jones.
Charles Jones.
Oh,
Sorry.
Charles Jones.
Yeah,
He
Charles
did
Jones.
the national anthem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh,
So
and the
good.
way he had a very unique pronunciation of that. What was the word that he said?
I mean, he can do whatever the damn well he pleases. You know, with
Oh,
that.
it was perfect. It was beautiful. Everything about it. And we won that game. I was like, can he please just do the anthem for every game?
Yes.
He's our good luck.
Right. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
And
we wanted to thank you for coming on
Of
and
course.
taking time out of your weekend to talk to us. I don't
Glad to be-
know. You're a Vulf fan, right? You started out as a Vulf fan. I'm
a big Vulf fan. All my friends are super annoyed by it. My husband's super annoyed by it. Like everybody's sick of hearing me talk about it.
Yeah, we fall in that line too.
yeah. It's just like anybody that's a fan is just like diehard. It seems like
Right.
in the
Yeah.
most wholesome way too.
I know. Like when I explain to people that we do this podcast, they're like, "Why does that exist? How can you even speak that long about one band at all?" And there's just so much. There's just way too much.
It's great. I watched a few of your guys' things because I just found out when JD tagged me in that post. I just found out about you guys, and it's great. I love what you guys are doing. It's awesome.
Well,
Like,
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah, we're putting in the work. We're bringing podcasts to platforms, much like Jack is bringing products to market. So we love the recognition. Thank you.
You're product guys.
We are.
We're product guys and product produce girls.
And produce girls
That's
with
right.
I can point to my pumpkins.
Yeah. But yeah, we wanted to get you on to talk about MSG. We saw even your pre-MSG concepts.
yeah.
The
which
one
was
in
super
January.
cool. Yeah, the
Yeah.
one from January, which was super cool. And we were just wondering how that kind of came about, whether like they reached out to you based on you making that or kind of how that kind of evolved.
Sure. I feel like it's a pretty crazy story.
Awesome.
So, all right. So 2 years, I want to say it was 2017. Because it was October when the Dodgers were in their first World Series. I remember because I was all hyped. It was during the World Series. They had just won a game, and we went to the Corey Wong show at the Terragram Ballroom.
Oh, wow.
Like Corey Wong. Yeah, and it was great. The Dodgers just won, super stoked. And, beers are going, and I see Jack Stratton in the audience.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, this is Jack Stratton. Like, at that point, when I saw him, I wasn't quite drunk enough. I didn't have enough liquid courage to talk to him. But at the end of the show, like, it's finally, like, I saw him, like, leave, and I'm like, oh, well, like, I'm not going to talk to him, whatever. And my husband's like, no! You go talk to him, and you go tell him if he ever needs a set design, you're there. I'm like, oh. And he kind of like push me, like even like push me towards the shit.
Right.
And I'm just like, hey, Jack. And like I don't even like. It was such a blur because like when you talk to like somebody like you're like love, then like you love their work and everything. Like you don't know what you're saying. You just ramble.
Right.
But I know I threw out a bunch of pitches at him and stuff, and he was probably super annoyed. He was waiting for his Uber, and he's like, why can't I just fucking wait for my Uber alone? But
That's funny.
But at the end, he's like, all right, my Uber's here, I gotta go. Just email the email on the website, do whatever. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, thank you. He's like, finally, on with this chick.
Like, get the hell away from me, Tricia, please.
Yeah. Crazy fans. And so the next day, or the next week, I like buckled down. I put together this awesome professional pitch for like some sets for music videos. I was thinking, because I was like, oh, they're never gonna do a set for a show, like a music video.
Right.
Yeah, and that was October 2017. I sent that over. He didn't say anything. And then 2 years later, I get this email. It was actually right after like I totally botched a pitch for a show.
Aww.
So I was like feeling really bad about myself. And I get this email from Jack like, hey, we're playing MSG. I'm like, I know. And he's like, thinking about doing a set, thinking like, do you think you could do something for, and he threw out a number, and like, I read that and I had to go sit down because I almost like died. And yeah, I was like, yes, of course. He's like, well, do a little, throw a design together and we'll see if we want to do something. And so that thing I sent you this morning, I worked on that. I was on a commercial, so I was working that during the day, and I was staying up till like 3 or 4 a.m. doing those designs for a whole week. I got no sleep. I was like shaking by the end of the week from like lack of sleep.
Oh my God.
My whole crew was like, Trish, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm working on this design. I'm not okay.
It's VULFPECK. It's VULFPECK. It's okay.
Yeah, they all know how obsessed I am. Like,
Right.
you should go home. But yeah, I did those designs because he was like, we're thinking a living room set, like something chill. And I was like, it's got to be the basement, you know?
For sure.
So yeah, I watched a shit ton of video. Well, I've already seen them, you know, but like, you know, I'm watching the videos, like scrutinize. Okay, so that's that little thing right there, you know, like,
Right.
bring it into the design, sent it out. I think it took him 6 hours, of the longest 6 hours of my life, for him to get back to me, and he was like, "Perfect, call me."
Damn,
Shit.
that's so cool.
Yeah, and the rest was history. I was like, he was so great. He was just like, perfect, love it. I'm like, you want to change anything? No.
Really?
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
So it was insane. You saw, I sent him like probably like 6 options in that packet.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, you want to bring stuff from the other ones? Like, and he's like, nope, first one, love it. Perfect.
Wow.
He knows exactly what he wants. So yeah. And
That's interesting because he seems kind of like not necessarily a micromanager, but a perfectionist. You know, so it seems like he would want kind of that back and forth. Let's do this. I think this would be better. But it's super cool.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, we'll do this.
Apparently, yeah, I've talked to a few people. He just kind of like I think he finds people that he like knows what he wants so much that he can see in a person if they're going to give him what he wants. And he's kind of like lets you be an artist.
That's so cool, man.
It's so cool. And he knows exactly like when he sees it, just like, yes, yeah, no, yes, no, yes, no. But I didn't get a lot of those.
Wow, man.
Wow. There's not a lot of people like that because like I'm an artist myself. Yeah. And like there's not a lot of people who just kind of like trust the artist and want you to do like what feels right and then don't give you a ton of critiques like change this, do that. So that's like super freeing as an artist. I love that. But he's an artist too, so he gets it.
Yeah. He's got this vision and he just lets you do what you do. You know, sometimes people like they don't know what they want. You do a million different things and it ends up being when you have that, it ends up being something not as good.
For sure.
Know?
Right.
When you're doing all the little detail, you should let the talented artists like do what they do and handle the details and you usually get a product that way.
Because it's not like you have no experience in this.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like and also it's like I feel like, you know, you're so talented. Like you've done Nikki Glazer's sets among all like, which is super cool. I've seen that special and it's like, yeah. And like, it's funny because it's like, oh, she made that set. I've seen that before. That's super cool. And it's like, yeah. And it's just super cool that I think like it would even take the enthusiasm a little bit out of it too. If there was like all this back and forth too. Cause it's just like, well, yeah, this is what I'm doing, and if you want to change what I'm doing, then why am I even doing this? You know,
exactly. Yeah, your enthusiasm drops drastically.
Right,
for sure.
Right.
From like something fun where you're enjoying your job into something just like this is awful. Like I'm gonna quit. Yeah, you know, it can happen very, very quickly.
That's cool. So, so take us through what it kind of went from in terms of like. When it went from a design to like actually executing on it, because we saw those images of basically the story of how it all happened. Like you were building it in LA, had to ship it to Ann Arbor and paint it, and then moved to New York, and like there was all this kind of like
get the furniture.
And like it was super complex in terms of like making sure the logistics worked. So we'd love to hear that story too.
Sure. Yeah, it was the most stressful experience probably of my life because I cared so much.
Right.
Probably lost years of my life, but it was worth it. But yeah, like, you know, we didn't have a huge budget. They're not part of a label. You know, so I'm kind of like, it's one of those, I'm sure you've heard the word passion project, but it definitely was that in every sense of the word, but a very rewarding one. So, I basically, you know, I'm getting everything together because I think he approved the designs in like June. And so, you know, I'm doing some online shopping, like starting to build the fireplace out here. And then early September, I was really surprised because you only have a day to set up the set on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Billy Joel played the night before. So you have to get there, set up the set, and when they're done, you break it down in like an hour and get out of there. Wow. So the time was insane. Yeah. And nobody wanted to scout. And I'm part of like TV and film where we scout like 100.
Right.
Yeah, so in early September, the wheels started really going, and I flew out to MSG by myself, and I scouted, you know, see all like, here's where we load in, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, great, like we'll get this truck, and took care of that. And then a week before the show, me and my husband, bless his heart. He's a sound guy. He got a bunch of like job offers, but he's like, no, we're doing this.
Aww.
That's great.
Me and my husband flew out. We flew into Detroit, and then picked up a 17-foot truck in in Detroit, drove it to Ann Arbor. We were in Ann Arbor for about like 4 days. Where it was so stressful. They almost lost the fireplace.
Right. Yeah. We saw that photo. That must've been frustrating as hell.
Oh yeah. I had like a backup one that I could rent in New York, but it was like too small. So I was like, we need the fireplace.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, we drove to the distribution center where they had the fireplace. Picked that up. I was like, oh, thank God. So we got the fireplace there. We scoured a bunch of thrift stores, got some last minute stuff. Oh, you guys noticed we got the Michigan sweatshirt there.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We got some binoculars.
Heck
for,
yeah.
one of the sets. We got some National Geographics, like a bunch of little smalls, you know.
Yeah.
And then the last day in Ann Arbor, we went to go get the furniture. We were going to get the first day to make sure like everything was good and everything, but the what is his name? Tyler, the guy that
Tyler
owned the
Duncan.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Duncan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicest guy. He's like, can you do it later? Because like it's all my furniture.
Aw. He's like, what am I gonna do without my furniture?
That's funny.
I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll look at it later. So we picked that up on Wednesday, I think. Oh, on Tuesday before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my husband just loaded it up. Theo was there recording his new album, so that was kind of cool.
That's so cool, man. Fuck.
Yeah. And I got there to load up all the furniture, and Theo was like, "Hey, could you do this special thing for me? Could you put?" He's like, "This is my dad's album."
Yeah, we saw that.
We did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, of course I was gonna I wanted it to be a surprise for him. Yeah, so, and he was like, it's very important, keep it safe. I'm like, okay, so like that album, I'd never let it out of my sight. Like I'd take it into the hotel room with me.
Yes.
And, like, I was like, this is so important. So, yeah, we loaded all that furniture up, which was so surreal, like being in that room. I was just like,
That's so cool.
Here it all is, like just like the videos.
Right.
So yeah, we loaded all that up, and then the next day we started the drive, which is about like a 10-11 hour drive. Stopped in Pennsylvania the first night, then we got out to New York the second day. Did all the last minute stuff. We parked it. It was so stressful. We parked it in this lot. I finally found this lot where it was like guarded 24 hours and they had cameras and everything. But that wasn't enough. So my husband, bless his heart again, we put on Find My Friends on his phone so I could see where his phone was, and we put it in the back of the truck.
Oh,
That's
good.
cool. Now, talk about you're a film industry. You've been here a couple times.
Oh yeah.
Plus. Yeah.
I know things could go wrong, I know, and it's all on me. You know, like I don't have a crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like handling anything. So like I'm just like, this is like, if the truck gets stolen, if anything gets stolen, we're screwed. Like we've got to do it. So yeah, we had his phone. I would wake up, I barely slept, so I'd be like, oh God, is his phone still there?
Love it.
Okay. Yeah, so that was a stressful 2 nights, but we got that done. And then I had a set building company out there that brought in the flats and the big light box and everything, and they did a pretty good job. The guy showed up late on the day, so that was kind of stressful too.
Was that the Vulf, the Vulf logo, that big light?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That seems huge.
It was 8 feet wide and 200 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So cool.
So
Insane.
you can imagine, like, also, like, I hate being in charge of, like, hanging stuff like that, because I usually have a union crew that's doing it for me.
Yeah.
So like just the stress of like being like, oh God, hanging this thing, like if it falls, I'm gonna like I'll lose it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but like once you take it to the venue and all the union guys there, like, don't worry about it, sweetheart, we got it. And you're like,
The New York accent.
We'll put it up.
Forget about it.
We'll walk in here. Forget about it. Eh? Yeah.
we'll get a slice of pie.
Yeah, we'll get a slice of pie. We're gonna have some pie. We'll get the Vulf logo up. We'll do it. Eh? How about that? Huh?
Dude, that's no exaggeration at all. Like, that's exactly what the union guys at the venue were. They were all like, "Hey, you from LA? Oh, hey guys, don't touch anything. It's from LA." They
I love it.
That's so great.
Those guys were hilarious, and they just like made me feel much better. On the
Right.
day it was, you can imagine like the stress of like loading in and everything. It's just me and my husband showing up in a rental
Oh
truck.
my god.
Wow, it's so grassroots.
What's up?
It's so grassroots. The way
Oh,
Vulf works, you know.
Yeah, you're like they're all like looking at the set too, the stuff we're bringing in. They're like, "What are you doing? Moving in? Like, what is all?" Yeah, because they usually have big LED screens and shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a
Right.
usual set for MSG.
For
All
sure.
the guys are like, what are you guys doing? What is all
Right. So the striped couch. Why do you want a couch up here? Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, what is this band? What's going on?
I know.
Yeah, so on the day it was a lot of fun, you know, like it was pretty much exactly the design. It went the way I was hoping for it to be. We
Yes.
lost a few things, like I had some globe lights that were gonna get in the way of like the lights, so we took those down. But yeah, like that was that. We set it all up, and I was like, okay, we sit down and watch sound check, and it was so surreal. And once the show started, like I have this video my husband took of me, like the show starting, and I just start crying because all the stress is finally.
Aw.
I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So like, it was just happy tears.
It all paid off.
And it all started from a very, very unlikely place too, where it's just like, had you not talked to him, had you not emailed him over the course, or when you did too, how early it was, it wouldn't
Yeah.
have came to
Yeah.
be, you know. And it's
Kismet.
so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. The guys were so thankful. Like Corey gave me the biggest hug I've ever gotten in my life.
I love him.
They're all so sweet, and like all through soundcheck, Woody was like, I could see him like playing, like he was sitting at the computer for a long time. He was like opening books and
Aw.
reading.
That's
He was
funny.
trying all this stuff. I was like, Woody was cracking me up.
That's
It
so
was,
cool.
it was surreal, man. And then afterwards we drove it all back in a day, and I was at work on Monday morning.
Oh my god.
Wow,
Poor thing.
man, that's such a cool story.
It was insane. And I mean, it probably wouldn't have happened if my favorite band was any other band, you know, like
Right.
they're just so open to people participating
Mhm.
and everything. Like even other people backstage, like the girl that runs the merch.
Allegra?
Allegra,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I think, you know, she seemed like she started as a fan, and like they were like, "Hey, you want to do our merch?" And there were a few other fans backstage running like the guest list and stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, we just said that we would help them if they wanted." They were like, "Okay."
That is so cool, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you know, it's, you know, we're not there yet, but we will. You know what I mean? Like making this podcast, I'm sure Jack will go, okay, we'll do something with this somehow. You know,
You're
but
part of it, man. You're part of it already.
yeah, I hope.
Yeah. No, it's really great what you guys are doing. Yeah.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
It's such a great family to be a part of, and like all the fans are so wholesome.
Right.
Everything's so nice. Like,
Yeah,
the
making
band-
content for this group of people, you know, like you'll get one or two trolls here or there, but like everybody's usually like, here's my take on what you said. I don't necessarily agree, but here's why I understand, you know. And it's just like everybody's super like scholastic, and like they have a head on their shoulders, and it's super cool to be a part of that family. Also, like everybody seems to be a musician, which is super cool. And just basically artists in general, like it's like game recognized game, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. Yeah, and even the artists that I use some fan artwork, and I reached out to a few people, and I felt really bad because like it was kind of I felt like Jack never told me, but I did feel like it was kind of a secret. Like he didn't want to let it out, and the fans are like, "What's this for?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, just a thing." And afterwards, when they saw their artwork, they're just like, "Oh my god, thank you for doing that. You know, everybody was just so happy to be a part of it. It was a lot
My
of fun.
God. Wow.
That's
well,
the
it's-
dream, man.
Man, wow. That is so damn cool. Wow. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, it was crazy. Like Jack didn't even tell when I saw Theo in Ann Arbor. He was like, "Hey, how's it going? Like, do I know you guys?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm the set designer for MSG." He's like, "Set designer?" I was like,
He doesn't even know.
Damn, dude.
yeah. I think it wasn't like a serious thing. Like Jack never told me not to tell anybody. So like,
Right.
I did feel bad after I said that. I was like, "Oh shit! Did he want it to be a surprise for everybody?"
Wow. That is
Yeah, I was
crazy.
like, "Oh yeah, we're doing a set." He's like, "Whoa, that's awesome!" Okay.
Wow. It's so cool. And what's it like working with Jack in person? Like, was he like on the day he just let you do what you did and was like, this is cool?
Oh yeah, like on the day the band got there at like 2, I think. So we were all pretty much set up, and I got there, and Jack's just like, "Great
Take.
great."
Solid take.
Yeah,
Nailed it. Yeah.
And he critiques, like sometimes you like want a little bit of something.
Right.
He's like, "That's perfect, great."
Awesome.
And he didn't even want to meet in person like before anything, and I'm like, "No, like we need to talk over stuff. Like please approve like everything."
Right.
Like I
Jeez.
can't do a show this big without like meeting with you in person. He's like, "All right, fine." So we met in person, and I have this whole presentation. I'm showing him like the angle of the set from like all the different, like I found this 3D render of or this 3D model of MSG in SketchUp. So like I was showing him the view from every different like seat and every different angle. I'm like, "What do you think about here?" He's like, "Great." "What do you think about here?" He's like, "Great."
Oh my God, no feedback. This guy.
I'm just like, "Okay, all right, awesome."
Wow.
So he was a lot of fun. In person, he said like probably the most relaxed, chill person. Like I'm very like high strung and like
Right.
Right.
very like yeah.
He harnesses that energy, man, and I'm sure it's infectious too. Where you're just like, wow, just knowing everything that he's done too to date. When it's just like he's right in front of you, going, "Yeah, cool, great," like eating an ube potato, like.
Yeah, so chill. It was just the chillest guy. Like met in a little cafe in Highland Park. And,
That's so cool.
yeah, and he was so nice. I'm sure he was busy.
Oh yeah.
And like
Right.
he just kind of sat there, like we finished talking, and he just sits there talking about like anything. It's just
Right.
talking life and everything. I was just like, "This is awesome. You're great." It's so chill.
Yeah, because they usually say don't meet your heroes, but this really isn't the case.
No,
Yeah.
and like maybe like one of the only exceptions. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people, but like a hard exception. Like you like
Right.
them more after you meet them.
Right.
Like,
Wow.
They don't disappoint at all. Like
Yeah.
just like they're all just the nicest people, and
Mhm.
we're so lucky to have such a great band.
I know, seriously.
So glad we found each other.
Yeah, it's a rarity to find this caliber of people and musicianship. You know?
It really is. Yeah.
So.
Especially for Dodgers fans that we have to deal with disappointment every year.
Yep.
We have something we can count on.
Right. You can always count on Vulf for sure.
Yeah. And,
They're always going to hit the game winner. Am I right? That's right.
Even if we can't.
Right. Even if LA can't, yeah, they're going to hit that game winner, y'all. For sure.
I really don't understand. Going back to Dodgers.
Yeah.
I really don't understand like how everybody hates the Dodgers so much. Like I was looking on Instagram, everybody was like, "Yeah, the Dodgers are." I was like, "How do you guys hate us? We haven't won a World Series forever."
I know.
Nobody feels bad for us.
I know. It sucks how you do so well all year. You win 106 games, and then this happens, and it's just like, but they're better than that, you know. Especially playing against Walgreens, you know.
Dave Roberts is coming back again. But every October, Dave Roberts makes some pitching choice in the postseason where I'm like, first of all, take Kershaw out after the one strikeout. Like, great. He got a strikeout. Awesome. Somebody else. And then bring in Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly?
Dude.
I don't know how to feel about Joe Kelly, but I think he's a sleeper agent for some other team.
Right. He looks like Gael Garcia Bernal, but if he was like a villain, you know? It's like they got Gael out there, and he's like, "I will make the Dodgers lose."
I like that.
But yeah. Anyway, thank you, dude. Tricia, you were super cool. I think this is the start of a great relationship. We're over in the valley, so
I hope you guys are doing okay with the fires. You know,
yes,
too close.
They're a bit close, just a couple miles, but you know.
Oh my god.
Well, it's like we're like near Encino Van Nuys area, so it's far enough away, but it's still like it smells like a campfire, like that's like right next to you. So yeah, it's crazy.
Well, hey, if you ever want somebody on for the trivia, I felt like I could have done pretty good in the last.
Fuck yeah, man! We will do that. We will definitely do that. Vulf Trivia 3 with Tricia.
There you go. Yeah.
Let's fucking do it, dude. Cool.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. You guys are doing such a great thing. I really
thank you. And we say the same to you. Like, seriously, the work you put into this is 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10, 16, 12 out of 10. It's incredible. You hit the game winner.
All the Vulf puns.
All the Vulf puns. Attributed to the caliber of a set designer and art director that you are. So, Tricia, we thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right, have a good one, guys.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
See ya. Holy effing poop.
I know.
Holy crap.
We have low battery here. We have a dead battery there. It's time to re-battery.
It's time to re-battery. You know, maybe I can just like FaceTime ourselves really quick right here.
You could FaceTime me.
Oh, we can just use this.
Oh, we can just use that?
Sure.
Sweet.
For the rest of the show, we're just like, hey. All right, so guys,
Let me get my mic.
Yeah, we'll cut this episode a little short because of the technical difficulties we're having. Also, I can't charge my computer while we're doing the show.
Because it makes like this weird feedback noise. It's so stupid.
It's terrible. So we will put all the notable mentions, funny funk, and other things from this show into another show so we can all bask in the Vulfness. We appreciate y'all for tuning in today. It is the Conscious Club Podcast at the Conscious Club Podcast on Instagram. At Senorita Toria for her art. That's
I wish
right.
let me grab Trisha's.
Yeah, I
you
think
guys, I have to get Trisha's. I have it right here. It's just Tricia Robertson. Oh wait, Tricia C. Robertson, but her name is not SH. No. TRICIAC Robertson.
Right. TRICIA.
Heck yeah, dude.
C. Robertson.
And her website is www.triciarobertsondesign.com.
https://www.Tricia
Heck yeah, dude.
RobertsonDesign.com. Is that what it was?
Robertson Design. Yeah.
TriciaRobertsonDesign.com. Hit her up. We got VizDev extraordinaire. We got a set design art director. Dude, this is only the beginning of the Conscious Club Podcast. So thank you guys for listening, and we're just like trying to fit in here.
We're trying to fit in, bumping headphones.
Thank you, Cody Sen at Cody Sen Paintings.
Thank you for the painting.
Instagram. That was super cool. We'll take more. I'll pay for shipping. Just reply back. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Mama, it's a mad world. I feel bad for all the boys and girls falling in from the astral plane. Out
everybody, Indy here, and thanks for watching the Conscious Club podcast. Please be advised that this is a fan-made podcast. Even though we would love nothing more, we are not associated with VULFPECK, Vulf Records LLC, Vulf Productions Inc, or any associated acts tied to the greater Vulf umbrella. We do this show out of love, not for monetary gain. We simply wanted an outlet like this to exist, so we made it happen, and I hope that's okay. Thanks for watching, and always remember, fee fi fo fum.